Hello, everybody. Welcome to Come Waste Your Time. We didn't know how we were going to start that, did we?
No, we didn't. No, I didn't
No.
have an opening video or anything. So I put in the private chat, Dave, put yourself on. And then I was like, I'll just do it.
Use the private chat right now?
And then I was like, well, I'll just put him on. But then I was
That's
like,
a good idea.
but then I was like, let me mute him first. So
Whatever.
anyway, welcome to Come Waste Your Time.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry about that rough intro. That's what we do here.
Should we restart? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Come Waste Your Time. Welcome, Allie. Welcome, Ben. And thank you for anyone who's listening or watching. How's everybody been?
As if that's a rhetorical question for the people in the house, fine.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. How are we feeling?
I am not feeling too good myself. No, I'm all right. Yeah, things are fairly steady. Allie, how are you feeling?
Oh, I am feeling.
Nobody's answered the questions. And
I'm
that's
feeling
all
okay.
you know. At the moment, I feel okay.
Yeah, for sure. I think I have to raise my seat. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I think it just went down.
Uh-oh. We got one of those.
There we go.
So
I just went up like 4 inches.
So we'll just,
I'm so sorry.
monitor that situation throughout the show.
Sometimes it just slowly, without noticing, the chair just goes down.
Yep, or at that, that chair is at that phase of office chair.
Yes.
The
It's been a good chair.
It's been a good chair. It was
Yours before mine.
yeah, and then before mine was redacted.
What?
Anyway, yeah, you guys changed up the look. You have a bookcase now in the background.
Absolutely.
Our beluga is still there, prominently shown, though, just in case anyone was wondering where he was.
Right, he's safe.
He's there. We gotta turn him.
Unlike
he's
other
gotta face out, though.
No, I'm kidding. No, he's still here. He's chilling.
Yeah,
we're getting the office going here. We're getting our books actually put on a bookcase.
I love it.
Exciting
here.
stuff.
The ultimate goal is to get a treadmill set up so we can walk in the house.
Listen, I'm excited about that because I've been walking outside of the house since the spring.
Absolutely.
And when it gets colder out, I'm gonna come up to your office and crash that thing. I hope.
Nope. Moving on.
I'm gonna do it.
Nope. You're not. So that's the goal, and also to
We're
make
close.
sense. Huh?
I said we're close.
We're close to getting there, and the goal is to make some order in our lives. I've been recommended to actually order life. You know what I mean? And it will make us feel better. We've talked about it. It's a goal that we've been putting off because of the past year. But it's just.
But I feel like there were so many things that just needed to be dealt with, and we haven't, because whatever, and we have now.
There were a lot of steps to get.
Yeah, to get to the treadmill, we had to do a lot of cleaning and organizing and purging and
redesigning.
Yeah, but we're close. I have to take this stuff down first.
Some stuff on the wall.
That's easy.
It's easy.
And then we'll put it there. It'll be okay.
We're close. We're
getting there.
Pushing. And then
the main issue is getting the treadmill up the stairs. So we'll do it.
We're gonna do it as a friendship family.
All 3 of us. We're gonna put our muscles together and
nail it. We're gonna crush it, and not just our spines.
Absolutely.
Anyway, how about you, bro?
I'm good. I bought myself a treadmill since you said that I can't use yours.
I knew that's what you were doing.
In the last 30 seconds, I bought myself one, and yeah,
in the last 30 seconds.
I believe it.
And
Right.
And I'm getting someone to put it together. for me. So
you did.
before they drop it off. So hopefully not as big of a time commitment and a process.
That's how Allie feels about Ben.
In general, not just at this moment.
True. So
Yes.
Broadway.
When is Broadway back, baby?
Opening
Is
up.
Broadway back, baby?
Oh, sorry.
Is it? Like I don't know.
It's
I haven't paid a
back.
lot. I haven't paid a lot of attention to things.
Wasn't it September 1st? Or
Yeah, but
at
wasn't
least-
tonight like the big
tonight was
most-
a lot of other ones.
a lot? Like the first few shows
The
were
first few shows, like we had the play Passover that opened first. That was the first actual production. And then we had like Waitress in Hadestown, and then like
Right.
okay, now we're doing like
Hamilton and Wicked.
today
and
was Hamilton, Wicked. I mean, Lion King.
yeah,
We're talking
Lion King,
like
yep. I think
when, when Hamilton, Wicked, and Lion King open up on the same night, that's the night that the Broadway business is back open.
for sure.
Let's be honest. Those are the biggest. Phantom's coming at some point to round that out.
Right. I'm not a fan of Phantom.
What?
As a
I'm not-
show?
I've seen it several times.
Have you seen it on stage?
I've seen
I
it
was
on.
just asking.
I've
I just was
exclusively
curious.
seen it on Broadway.
I'm just curious. Sorry. Jeez.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it at like PPAC or something. I've exclusively
No, I
seen
meant, like,
Phantom on Broadway.
Okay.
Uh,
A few times.
Has he even seen the movie?
I've seen the movie.
Okay.
You
saw it.
You saw it
once?
more than
You
once?
saw it twice.
Yeah, I saw it twice.
Oh,
I saw it twice as well.
I saw it. None.
And I don't see
Okay.
now.
That's-
All right, so Paul
Fine.
Dumas has said amen, Ben, and now I want to retract my statement and say that I think that Phantom might be the greatest musical ever. No, I'm not a big Phantom fan, not a big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan in general.
All right, watch it. You can't say such. You just can't say. A lot of people.
Listen, I don't think that
I mean, I get it, but
I
like,
don't think that it's bad. It's
I'm
not
not
my
gonna-
cup of tea.
what about Jesus Christ Superstar?
Absolutely not.
Rude.
Which
Absolute-
Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals do we like? We have
Jesus
Joseph.
Christ Superstar.
Do we like Joseph? And
No.
here's the other thing: have you given any of them a real shot, or do you really not know them?
I don't know Joseph.
Right. I know it
Um,
well enough to say,
Doesn't seem like my thing.
yeah.
I've heard a few songs. I've not been interested in exploring more. So there's
Donny
that.
Osmond.
I mean, I do love Donny Osmond. I know his entire.
Well, you
He
don't know.
released an
Well,
album
a big part of his
once,
career was,
Um,
Joseph.
and my mom was like all about it. And I know every word to every song on that album. And if you want
We're
to
gonna
hear
have
it,
a
you let me
live
know.
Stream night where it's going to be one voice.
Oh,
It's going to be the best of Billy Gilman.
oh my God. Stop
And
it.
Donny Osmond album in full.
And I'll
So-
be like, hold on, let me put on my
So
voice.
Joseph, we don't know, but not probably. Cats, hard
Nope.
pass.
Hard
Hard pass on
I-
Cats.
My
Not just because
mom
of
is gonna
the
be-
not just because
my
of the
mom's-
movie.
Hold on, my mom will be furious, and I apologize. I'm so sorry, but I think she knows it's just not for everybody. It's great for the people who love it.
Not
and
our
that's
thing.
for- It's just not my thing at all. It has some cool parts. I got to be honest. It has some cool parts. But as a kid, even it was the first show that I saw that I went,
Did you see it on Broadway?
No, I saw it at PPAC, but
Okay.
it was really good.
Yeah, but I didn't ever
It was
see a
as
stage
professional a
performance.
production that I would have seen, honestly.
Right.
And I was like, okay. Yeah. But it had some really cool parts, honestly. Mr. Mistopheles was a great number. Rum Tum Tugger's hilarious. Memory's a great song.
But watching the movie was one of the funniest
movie was
experiences of
nothing.
my
I mean,
life.
The movie it took everything wrong with the musical and made it worse. And
When did
didn't
you guys watch the
In the
movie?
worst way.
with you, man?
You were there.
The movie, not like the film
Of-
version.
Of Cats?
Yeah.
Remember Jess
We
and
watched-
Alex?
We did it on
We
FaceTime.
watched it on FaceTime.
You were there.
You were there, man.
Oh,
during the
that was
pandemic.
Easter. That was Easter during the pandemic. Yeah.
It was when it was
Right.
released.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the
Digital.
date, but
I know the
like,
date,
it
man.
definitely happened.
He knows the
You
date,
were
but he doesn't
there.
remember the
He's like, I
experience.
wasn't there, but
I
it
was
did
there,
happen.
but
It was
happened
Easter
this
2020, so it was April.
Okay.
this time in the evening. But I don't know. I probably was.
It was April 12th, 2020.
Dude,
Oh, all
I
right.
thought you didn't remember.
Titanic.
Titanic.
It's all coming back.
But that was a
Enough about cats because
ridiculous.
my mom will be there.
Moving
I
on.
don't want to talk about. It. But I do
Jesus
enjoy
Christ
seeing it.
Superstar.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Love it.
I don't really know super well. You know every
I
word.
watched it a lot.
Okay. Which one?
The movie.
The movie. So you love Ted Neely. He was Jesus. He was like that was like his part. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how people like are like, I'm Jesus from Jesus Christ Superstar. Like,
Right.
He would tour like to this day almost. And then, oh, is he alive? Yeah, I think he is.
No thank you on Jesus Christ Superstar for Benny.
Even me. Imagine me.
I don't
saying,
know it well enough
You know?
to say either way.
Even I'm like,
How about
yes.
No.
Starlight Express? Starlight Express.
Don't know anything about it really, to be totally honest.
I don't know anything
Trains.
about. I don't know anything about Starlight Express.
It's literally cats, but train. They go through like the different cars of the
Right.
train, and they sing a song about themselves. Another one my mom really likes. I saw it on ice at the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
That makes sense.
And
It.
yeah, it was. Okay.
I would imagine they would put that on ice.
It's cool to see.
Yeah.
You know, when you listen to the album, I don't know if you're as into it. But
Right.
It depends.
Dave, can you
Evita
please?
is regarded as one of his best.
I don't even know Evita.
See,
very
I don't
well,
know
to be
Evita- I
honest.
don't know
That's fair to
Evita
say.
either.
I know a few songs.
The dude
obviously.
has a lot of musicals.
We
So,
did
like,
we did an Andrew Lloyd Webber medley and chorus in high school, didn't we?
yeah, and that's probably why you know half of the songs you know by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was the big ones, so it's not like we got any deep cuts,
Right. No, absolutely.
which is easy.
So I don't know Starlight Express. I don't know Evita. I'm not super familiar with Jesus Christ Superstar, but everything that I've ever heard from it has been borderline offensive to me.
Oh my lord, literally. Wait, I gotta keep naming ones though, because I can name more. Phantom, I really like Phantom
I do too.
a lot.
I love it.
I love the
know it's
concept
got
of
its issues. That's fine with
I don't
me.
care.
It's
I love it.
Cool. I like. I really like.
Here's the thing. I love Phantom like to watch on
How
my
did you
own
see it
accord.
twice and you're
I like watching Phantom. Watching like the 25th anniversary of Phantom was the most that I've ever liked Phantom.
Okay.
I personally find like sitting in the theater on Broadway watching Phantom to be one of the most boring experiences I've ever had on Broadway. Two of the most boring experiences I've ever had on Broadway.
Wow.
Because why?
Big words. Big words.
Because it was
theater.
drawn out, because there was too much music, because there was too much dialogue. Like, what's the
There
problem?
was definitely not too much.
Definitely not.
I
dialogue.
know.
Whether you-
Because like
you can't-
there is no
You're not
dialogue.
allowed to say
It's
that.
honestly, like the things that I would critique about it would all make me sound like just a jerk because it's preference. Like I find that I think that it drags. It doesn't hold my attention in person.
Okay.
Phantom is better.
Paul.
See, now,
Oof.
this is
Those are some
interesting.
fighting words.
These are interesting words. Now he's getting. No one's gonna agree with him now. Chad
is better
was
than Avenue
mentioning
Q.
Starlight Express, Starlight Express.
But
Paul
Avenue
saw Avenue
Q.
Q. I remember Paul was the first person I knew that saw Avenue Q, and he was like, "Not into it." And I was like, "Really?"
I was so frustrated because there was this period of time where I was unemployed and my sister and I
Really?
made plans. It was, I don't remember what year it was. It was like
After 05.
09, 08, 09, I think. Because she was in New York and we made plans and I would go to the city like every month. Like I didn't care. I was just like, I'm sure. And we had tickets to see Avenue Q And then I got a new job like the day before that we were supposed to go see Avenue Q. I was supposed to leave the next morning to go see it. And I got the job and I was hired on the spot and they were like, you have to work tomorrow. And I was like, well, I'm so desperate. Like, I have to do it. Like, I have to start. And I called my sister and I was like, I can't come. So my dad went.
Yeah.
And my sister and my dad went and saw Avenue Q together. And I was so mad because I was like, I should have seen that show 100%. I love that show. I wanted to see it. I don't know if I do think dad appreciated it, but I was so mad. And I never got to see it on Broadway. I did get to see it after, which was great.
So off Broadway, same production.
It was amazing. It was incredible.
Ben
but
saw
like
it on
I was
Broadway as well.
I was just so I was like, I cannot believe I can't go.
I don't know who that reference is, but that's
Don't worry
okay.
about it.
So I saw it in February 2005 on Broadway.
Yeah.
It was the original cast minus John Tartaglia.
Amazing.
Barry at Phil, though.
Yeah, it was Barry. It was
that's
Barry
fine.
at Foa.
Fine, right?
That's incredible casting.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I loved it. It was the second Broadway musical that I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was high school.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was my senior year of high school. It was the second
was really influencing this, I would say.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Caroline was heavily influencing this, I would say, right?
Yeah, I went with Caroline and Dave Dialmo and a couple other and like Otab. Like it was
we're going to see these
What year
shows.
was it? Did you go?
it was February 2005.
Oh,
Gail was going on a college tour and she was going to see like Fordham, I think, and Pace maybe. And we went with her and we stayed in the MetLife apartments for employees because one of their dads worked there, and it was really cool, and it was like the most walking I had ever done in my life. It was really ridiculously fun. That was the only time that I like went sightseeing in New York, and then we saw Avenue Q, and it was like the coolest show ever. We met on that trip. I don't remember who she was, but we met Christine and Phantom on that trip. They were outside in the Avenue Q, and Phantom like shared a stage door at that time. I believe, and it was really
Paul
cool.
knows. That doesn't make sense. That theater isn't near. We know where Phantom is. The Golden Theater isn't there. I'm getting into my nerd. I need to do a Broadway podcast because I know more than you think.
Oh, I know.
The stage door. No. The stage doors. The Majestic was around the corner from Avenue Q.
Oh, were they on opposite blocks?
They were on yeah, and the stage door was in the back of both of them.
Okay, now I'm fine with that. That I actually know. I know that actually. Okay. Because the Majestic is where Phantom is in the front of that theater.
Faces like the St. James.
St. James, and then we have the Broadhurst.
Yeah. And then the Golden is just like on the other block.
No, you're right. It is. That's
So-
a very small theater.
Yeah. So anyway, that was cool, and we met a lot of the people. That was the first time. Like, I didn't know you could meet the actors. Like, I had never been to a stage door or anything like that. I had seen one Broadway show before that, and it was Dracula. Frank
saw that
Wildhorn's
show,
Dracula.
but it got flooded. The theater got flooded, so I got out of it. My dad
Oh man, you missed it.
My dad was like, "You wanted that to happen." I was like, "Yes, I did." It looked like a dumb show. I'm sorry.
It had some great songs in it.
Ben saw boobs in that musical, and he
Oh,
thought
I
that
don't have any
all
water.
musicals were like that. You can have some wine.
I
You
was
have
just
a water
joking.
right there.
Oh yeah, you
There's a
guys were
cup
both
of
drinking
water.
out of pulling spring bottles.
All right. So Dracula was the first Broadway show that I
better
ever
not
saw,
respond.
and I was 16. How old were you guys? What shows were your first shows?
There you
Oh,
go.
this is great. Mine, I was like 7. I saw Beauty and the Beast, and it was like coolest thing that could have ever happened to me. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first one.
Allie.
I was like 13 or 14 and I saw Wicked in a really weird way.
What?
No, because it's not like my parents just took me to go see it. Like we didn't go on like a family trip.
Okay.
We got like the community Tower Street, or it's not Tower, it wasn't Tower Street then. It was like the community like book of like things they were doing with like the YMCA programs and like everything else, but they did like group field trips, and one of them was to go see Wicked. And so we like, my mom signed up for it, and we all met at like Tower Street and got on a coach bus, and we went to New York City, and we went and saw Wicked and went to dinner, and then met back at the tour bus. And like we went to Olive Garden, like the Olive Garden with like the, Olive Garden in Times
the
Square.
Times Square
Olive
Olive
Garden.
Yeah, that's where I
Everything in Olive
where I
Garden.
met your sister's best friend.
I made a joke when I went that everything in that Olive Garden was circular, because I hadn't been to New York like that before.
I
Like
literally have
ever.
memories at that Olive Garden like the same way that I do the one in Warwick.
But I hadn't been to it. Like
Right.
we just like, and we got to sit like with our own like people, like,
Yeah.
But we just like showed up. We got on a tour bus. They drove us. We went and we saw
That's
it.
a
And
cool experience.
it was super fun. It was really cool. And like, I wasn't responsible for travel or anything. Like, even as
amazing.
like,
And you
even
saw
at like
Wicked.
my freshman year. Yeah. And we saw Wicked, which was a huge deal. Like, to me, that being my first Broadway experience. So that was interesting to me, because then after that, I saw a lot of very niche
Yeah.
shows, like
Right.
very like small, like very niche things. But I was like in the Gershwin in this huge theater, and like
It was Wicked.
in a huge set, and I was like, oh my god, this is Broadway. Like, this is it. Not saying like the smaller shows aren't. I love them more than the big ones, but like it was really funny, because then I like went to another show and I was like, oh wow, this is so different. But yeah, we went on like a community trip. That was my first Broadway show.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite? Mine was Dracula.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
I
so
went
good.
with it was also Caroline.
Yeah.
And Ben Rose, and our English/theater teacher, Tracy Haig. And
Because it was Frank Wildhorn. It was
Right.
This was written by the same person as Jekyll and Hyde. For anyone who doesn't know.
oh yeah. I'm sorry. There's no good songs in Dracula. I'm thinking of Jekyll and Hyde. Never mind.
Did you
Not
see
that they're-
Lestat?
I did not see Lestat.
Remember
No.
Lestat? That was an Elton John
I remember that.
vampire musical.
Yep.
No, Dracula was a Frank Wildhorn joint.
So you did see Dracula. You just didn't like any of the
He
songs.
fell asleep in the middle,
So
Wow.
and there was
All right.
nudity. That's all he remembered. It was Kelly O'Hara, and that's all he really remembered.
So I had
It was the Belasco, the haunted
Yeah.
Belasco.
now I'm getting a little feedback, so I'm gonna mute you for a second. So I saw like the first couple of shows that I saw, I slept through a little bit of. Even if I
The
loved
first
them.
couple?
The first couple shows, not Avenue Q, but almost everything else. And this
Oh
is and this is my defense. I have had sleep apnea for a very long time, and it was very exhausting
And it's a cool
To-
dark theater.
to go. Rosa, hi Rosa. I don't know what you tried to say, but thanks for watching the show. Rosa, have you ever been to a Broadway show? What's your favorite Broadway show? as a matter of fact,
just saying that made me think this is a super pretentious conversation.
the first time we saw Sweeney Todd, actually, I dozed for a second at the very beginning of the show in the front row center, and talk about a world before COVID.
Shame.
I was asleep. I was like,
Shame.
I was not asleep, but I was dozing during Epiphany. Wait,
big part of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Before the end of the first act.
and Michael Cerveris,
I hope he spit in your face for that.
he jumped down
Good.
and he went, "Welcome to the grave," in my face and just spit all over me.
Good.
And you almost pooped your pants.
And I was so scared, and I was awake for like 75% of the rest of the show.
75%.
He couldn't help it. He was exhausted.
I was so tired.
Show.
I was so tired. I was a huge fan. No, I'm sorry. The first time I saw Phantom,
it was an 8 p.m. show.
Oh, it was an 8 p.m. show. I also was not a huge fan. That was the first time I had ever heard of Phantom. I mean, ever heard of Sweeney. The first time I had ever heard of Sweeney was seeing that first performance of that show. I had never heard anything from it before except for A Little Priest, and I didn't know it. And I was trying to follow along, but I was very exhausted. And then after that, it became my favorite show. And I didn't you
Never
close
fell
my
asleep
eyes.
after that.
I don't think I ever fell asleep on Broadway again after that.
There you go.
Bullshit.
That's not true. The Little Mermaid. I straight slept through The Little Mermaid on Broadway on a date.
Just take your however many dollars and just
She worked for
throw
8
them in
hours
the trash.
And then drove directly to Broadway.
Everything you made that day,
With
just
me.
throw it right in the trash.
Dave paid for that trip.
We were not on a date.
No.
He was on a date with his girlfriend at the time. And I went as well to a different show.
Yes.
I should have just seen Little Mermaid. But
I hear it was great. I hear it was lovely.
A cool play, and I had a great cast. And now I get to say that I saw all those cool actors in person, including Raul Esparza.
I love Ron.
And that was the first time I got to see him, and the only time I got to see him.
What's the show that you've seen the most?
Ooh. Gotta be either Les Mis, the producers, or Sweeney.
I've seen Sweeney 3 times.
That was only 3 that we saw, Sweeney?
Yeah, we saw
Okay.
Sweeney 3 times. We saw
Les Mis 3 times?
Les Mis 3 times, including the second revival.
Well, that doesn't count. It's gotta be the same production, right?
Does it?
If we're counting cumulative Les Mis, I've seen.
So
Les Mis
okay, so
like
we saw
5
the
production.
2006 version of Les Mis twice.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, we did.
we saw but I saw the producers that year 3 times.
I saw the producers 3 to 4 times.
It got worse every time I saw it. And by the way, the producers is like one of my favorite shows that's ever existed.
Absolutely.
But like the enthusiasm was dying down for it
I started
significantly.
with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, and then it got it was tough. The last time I saw it was you saw it after me. Last time I saw it was Tony Danza as Max Bielsa.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, on his opening night,
Wow.
and he kind of fell apart a little bit.
Tony,
just a little bit, but it's okay.
I loved it. Looked like so when they got to the line of right before where did we go right
Yeah,
where they're
yeah.
fighting
With
Roger Bart, it looked like they had never gotten to this point in the dialogue during rehearsals, which is potentially true.
It was probably very hectic.
It's potentially true that they never got to this part. But the line in it is that Leo looks at Max and goes, "Fat. You're fat." And there's nothing like it's Tony Danza. He's thinner than a very thin Roger Bart. And he just looks at him and he does the line and then he looks again and then he just changes it to "You used to be fat. You used to be fat." And it was very awkward.
And we were like, I remember looking at Ben just going like, ooh, what is going on? Tony Danza messed up the end of King of Broadway. Like he lost his place. Other than that, it's good. It was crazy to see Tony Danza's Max Bialystock on Broadway. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Best poster ever. Broadway's biggest show gets another Tony. Mwah. Mwah. Love it.
Homeless
Yes,
woman threw a hot dog and a drink at you.
Yes, I laughed. I laughed at that poster. I went in between classes. I went Midtown, and I got to. I went to Midtown, and I got Dave and I tickets to see Tony Danza's opening night on Broadway in the producers. I love Tony Danza, especially at that time. And I grew up watching Taxi and Who's the Boss.
It's just funny that Tony
That's
Danza.
why he got them.
He was like, dude, I have to see Tony Danza as Max. I was okay.
Well, Tony Danza had his afternoon talk show in like 2005.
He loved his afternoon talk.
I loved it. And because I watched Taxi when I was a little kid and Who's the Boss, and I loved him. So
Who's the Boss? This is time for the band.
Anyway. So I got the tickets. And then as I'm walking by, I noticed that the giant mural poster on the door says it's him in the middle of everybody. And it says Broadway's biggest show got another Tony. And I chuckled to myself for like a split second in public. I went, and I heard, what the F are you laughing at? And I turned around, and right next to the St. James is a subway stop that I was going down into. And this, I assume, very nice, normally homeless woman who had free coffee and hot dog from Grace Papaya was staring at me, thinking that I, for some reason, was laughing at her. And I pointed at the thing and said, no, I think that this joke is funny. And she threw her half-eaten hot dog and coffee at me. And then I had to go back to the dorm. Yeah, it is not that great of a story.
What's the show that you've seen the most, Sally?
Oh, yeah.
Circling back to the original topic.
Hey, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Sweeney and Spelling Bee, I think.
The 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Title of show I saw 2 or 3 times. Spelling Bee I saw 3. Sweeney I saw at least 3. Company and Legally Blonde I think I saw twice.
It's a lot of repeats.
I saw shows multiple times. I did not care. Honestly, I always said, like, if I know I like a show and I really like it, like, I'll see it again. Like, especially during a certain time where I was like, well, during that time, there were a lot of shows that appealed to me, but I don't know. I saw a few multiple times. Legally Blonde, I didn't need to see more than once, but I did. It's just the situation, but whatever.
I want to hear numbers of repeats from like friends of Jess.
Yeah.
It's probably staggering.
Like Spelling Bee though, the third time I saw it, no. Yeah. The third time I saw it, I think was, so like when you go see it, they have you fill out a form at the beginning if you want to be involved in the show, because it's like, how do you, like, interactive, not interactive, but like, yeah.
There's audience participation. There's audience.
Yeah, there we go. Audience participation. So you can like fill out a form and like you might be selected to be on stage. But one of the times, instead of doing that, it was all like Broadway people instead of audience members, which was just one of the coolest things ever. I loved it so much. Raul Esparza, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Leah Salonga,
Julie Andrews.
a lot of like other people. I don't even remember right now, but like
Sarah
it was
Brightman
so
and Michael
good.
Crawford.
It was so good. That was like
And Nathan Lapone.
it was so good.
You saw Sarah Brightman and Michael Crawford together?
Who?
Yeah.
I did.
Dave, did you just make all that up?
Everything I said was fake.
You didn't hear what I said.
I did hear what you said, but then
Okay.
Dave started saying other names, and at first I thought they were real.
No.
Well,
And I saw Sweeney a few times. Obviously, went backstage. That was fun. And that's that.
you stood on a
Yeah.
table.
No, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you going backstage at Sweeney. How did that happen?
It was my last time seeing it, and my sister and I had tickets front row for my birthday, my actual birthday, September 9th. And no, because it's important, because they then announced the closing date, and I could be
September
wrong.
3rd, right? No.
What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like the 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
And I was so upset. I was like, oh my God, we were supposed to go see it. And my sister was like, hey, listen. So before this, my sister had been involved in like a online Sweeney fan group. And we made a friend, and she was like a very close internet friend. And back in, what year was this? 06?
06, yeah.
Internet friends were sketchy if you didn't know who they were. And my sister had made this really good friend, and I mean, I had too, but not as close as my sister. And so they had posted the closing notice, and my sister was like devastated and was like, I'm so sorry, I'm not available to go with you, but we could switch your ticket, and our friend from the Sweeney group, Margarita, could go with you. And my entire family was like, this is great. We have never met her though. So like, cool. And so my dad like made her call him on the phone and like was like making sure that she was like a real person. Cause I was only 15, 15, 16, about to be 16. And we eventually, my dad was like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's good. And for some reason, like my mom and my sister, I think my sister went to New York with me, and we met her, and they were like, okay, cool. You're a real person. This is good. And then they left, and Margarita let me stay at her apartment and took me to the show. And she knew the actors a little bit. At that point, it wasn't like a super like strong friendship, but like they knew them. And we were like, well, no, they must have at this point. Because like we saw Lauren Molina in the street, and she gave us those t-shirts that time. Like this was all before Jess lived in New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like they had all been to the shows enough to like know who they were and stuff. But like Jess had never met Margarita yet, because when we went to New York, my parents were like, we need to make sure this person is real. And I stayed at her apartment. She took me to the show. We were like 4th row, and she knew mono. And like at the end of the show, he like made direct eye contact with us and like waved and like smiled. And Margarita was like, ah, ha, ha. And I was like, okay, what? Cool. Great. Sweet. That's cool. And then we went out to the stage door, And like while we were at the stage door, he was like, okay, cool. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. And he like took a picture with us and he's like, we'll be right back. Don't worry. Just stay here. And then he came back and he was like, all right, let's go. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, let's go. We're gonna take you backstage. And I was like, what the fuck? And they had like reached out to him and said it was my birthday and that like we had tickets and it wasn't going to work out. And he knew Margarita. So he took us backstage, brought me on the stage, which was super cool. And like Donna Lynn was like playing her flute and Lauren Molina was like doing her thing and everyone was like around. And I was like, this is super cool. But you weren't allowed to take photos facing like with the stage behind you.
Yeah.
You could take photos with the audience, like the empty chairs behind you from the stage, but like you weren't allowed to take, which I totally understand, like whatever. But it was so cool. I was like, holy shit. I got to go like on the actual stage.
I love that story.
Me too.
Very
I had
jealous.
no idea. I had no idea it was happening
Very
during
jealous of you.
the time it was happening. Like I wasn't like, I don't know, maybe she didn't know either, but she said that she had reached out to him and like mentioned it and he was like, I'll see what I can do. But like
Yeah.
it was so cool. The relationship with that specific weird cast was really interesting, but fun. But yeah, I got to go on the stage and I liked it. It was super cool.
That was such a special time.
It was.
There was a great sense of community, not only with like the Sweeney like fan group that was online which wasn't like super deep, like in numbers wise, but the connections were all real and you guys got like to have connections with the cast and that was insane. And then actually like the people in the cast seemed like they were really tight because of the nature of the show and them playing their own instruments and all, like, you know, with the exception of like Michael and Patty being lesser known.
Like at one point Mono was doing shows at like Joe's Pub or 54 Below and like all these places, and like Donna Lynn was doing shows as well. And there was one night where they combined like an evening of like Donna Lynn doing Finishing the Hat and then Mono doing The Hidden Sky like into one. So if you were like a fan of both of them, you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to buy the tickets to both.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so cool. They had such a fun little.
Oh my God. I got to meet John Arbo 2 years ago today.
I mean, there we go.
Okay.
Today it was 2019.
Wow.
So, well, that's fantastic, Allie. I love that story.
Broadway's back, baby.
Yeah, I can't believe this turned into 45 minutes about Broadway.
Allie has to pee, so you know what that means, everybody. Thank you for joining us. What? You just gonna duck out?
Do you want to just duck out or do you want to end?
Or are we ending?
I mean, don't make me choose on air.
Okay.
Do you have more things to talk about?
Probably not.
All right.
Not in the same episode as this.
Oh my God. I can't believe that we just talked about 40. The description of this episode says that it's about like life and returning to school and
returning to Broadway
and the VMAs.
Oh yeah. The VMAs were weird.
That was interesting.
Thought I was ready for that.
Real quick.
But apparently 20
in a
years-
nutshell, thought I knew some music currently, finally, because every year in my life ever, I
since
don't know
2001.
any current music. And finally, I'm like, oh, I know some current music. Let's watch the VMAs. And then I watched it and I was like, oh,
And you were like, I don't know what this is, but good for you.
Yeah, we knew like 3 of the top songs, and then that was it.
Also, we saw Megan Fox
and
Kardashian.
oh, that was so weird.
Very uncomfortable.
That was super
He's
uncomfortable.
hot.
This was hot.
The drummer is hot.
Yeah, Travis Barker.
All right. Well, anyway,
Well, thank you, Ellie.
guys, thanks for having me.
Hey, you know what? What? No,
I
you're not a guest.
feel like I
You're
am.
not a guest at all.
Why
Your
do you
face is
feel
on the
like
graphic.
you are?
Just 'cause.
What do you say?
I said your face is on the graphic.
That's right.
Oh,
Pretty face.
that's an old photo. Oh wait, no, it's
Okay.
not actually.
Not that bad.
That was from her. Never mind.
Wasn't that
I thought that
long ago.
was way longer ago.
Acting like it was like a childhood photo.
Got plenty of those.
Like, you got plenty of those. Great. That's great. That's
Next
great.
time,
Next time. Oh, we'll
put
show
childhood alley.
childhood alley. We'll put childhood all.
I'll put Childhood Alley with adult Ben and Dave.
It'll look real
We
weird.
should all be children.
All
We
right.
should all have young photos.
We can do that.
Ben has so many to choose from. So many looks.
Good
Don't
for
you like-
you. You look happy and healthy.
I only have a couple of childhood photos, but they do all have completely different looks.
There you go. That's what we
That's what I'm
meant.
saying.
So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. This has been Come
I hope
Waste Your
everyone
Time,
broke legs tonight.
the Broadway's Back show.
Hey, you know what?
I appreciate it.
like Broadway.
Me
That's
too.
Lighter fare than what was on the description.
I
That
love
was
it.
fun.
I'll change the
Sometimes-
description.
Sometimes we gotta pivot.
What is it? Do it again.
Pivot.
All right, Dave.
Thanks, Ben.
We need to get a third one of these mics for you.
Well, this is his
That's-
for me.
I know, but I think it's time to get a third one, and can we commit to doing this a little bit more often?
Only if it gets better. Just kidding.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. I'm gonna find something to play on the way out.
Nice.
How
Love you.
about,
Bye.
Bye.